So in verse 28, you shall not make any cuttings in your flesh for the dead, nor tattoo any marks on you. I am the Lord. All right. So, yeah, this is, and again, certainly an interesting question. It's the idea of ascribing or giving, ascribing that there's something that is going on you. The word kaka is an incision, an imprintment, a tattoo, or a mark. All right, so you don't have to leave any kind of a mark on your body. So you're certainly not to cut yourself, and you're definitely not to do it for the dead. That is the kind of the idea here of this passage, that you're not to do that. And so I would suggest that it's probably talking about tattoos. I'm against tattoos. Could it be that it is referring simply to, cutting yourself and leaving a bunch of scars? Well, I think that's possible. I think it's less likely. I think God is really not wanting us to, to disfigure our body. I don't think that's what God would have us to do. When we look at Deuteronomy 14, it says, "You are the children of the Lord your God. You shall not cut yourselves, nor shave the front of your head for the dead." All right, so one of the reasons that people were doing this was for the benefit or for the honoring of the dead. Now, some people, in fact, many conservative Jews have suggested that this passage and the other would suggest that you're not allowed to shave your beard. Of course, obviously, I don't think that. Because the way I read this is that he's saying don't do it for the dead, right? So when your aunt dies, you don't go and cut your hair, you don't cut the sides of your beard, you don't cut your beard itself or your mustache, whatever, to honor her. That's what he's getting at. Like, let's just do a little thought experiment. If it were such that God was saying you must have a beard, uh, could people in some countries where a man has practically no facial hair, I'm thinking of places in South America, where they just don't have facial hair, right? Would they be able to keep that commandment? No, they wouldn't. I mean, they probably wouldn't cut it. You know why? Because they don't have any. So if having a beard were significant, then they would not be able to fulfill that. And again, so the point here is that this commandment not to shave is in relationship to the dead. And what in the same verse, you shall not cut yourself nor shave the front of your head for the dead. So both of these are in relationship to to dead people. Okay, and so again, if you're getting a tattoo and it's not for the dead, you're getting a little rose or something. My sense is that it's probably not cool, but I think there's enough. I think there's enough uncertainty in the text that if I see somebody with a tattoo, I don't think, oh my gosh, pagan, right? I just think, ugh, definitely, I don't think it's very cool. I don't recommend it. I think it's much safer to not get the tattoo because that is probably what the text is saying. But again, I cannot come down hard and say that's absolutely what the text is saying, is that you can have no tattoo under any circumstance. It definitely says you should not get a tattoo for the circumstance of somebody dying, right? And so, your Uncle Joe dies and you get, I love Joe, right? You just don't do that. That's not what the Bible's saying. But I would suggest that probably, we could make a pretty good argument that it's also something you shouldn't do anyway, right? It's just in general, you shouldn't get tattoos. So yeah, fun one. Okay,